everyone, Dr. Melissa here, and today we're doing yoga for plantar fasciitis, how to cure plantar fasciitis in 1 week. If you are tired of dealing with foot pain, feeling irritated and frustrated and having to stop the activities that you love, stay tuned. This is the perfect class for you. All right, go grab your mats and let's do this. All right, let's get those feet feeling better. Before we get started, if you happen to have a tennis-sized ball or something the size of a golf ball and a yoga block, go ahead and grab that. If not, no worries, I've got you covered. We are gonna start in standing, and I just wanna bring some attention and some awareness to your feet. Our yoga practice today for our feet will really help bring that attention to all those tiny little details. So first, just take a peek and try to spread your toes apart. Are they moving? Is it tricky to move? Does one side move differently than the other side moves? Do you notice that your toes are kind of crunched together and they're like, not moving? Just keep checking in. Weight in the front of your foot, back of your foot. Are you feeling pulling coming all the way up the back? Notice all those tiny little details, and we're gonna check back in with this at the end of class. So let's get started. Come all the way down, and you're gonna grab the block and the ball to get started. So specifically with plantar fasciitis, there can be muscle group in your calf, this inside part here, that can get really tight and can refer pain to the bottom of our foot. So we're gonna start with that. You're gonna grab your ball. Let's start on the right-hand side. Find that, like, ooh, it kind of hurts, but kind of feels good. And just find that one spot. That might be enough pressure. If you want a little bit more, maybe you add the other foot on top. This might be enough here. If you wanted to add on a little more, you can point your toe and then pull your toe back up. Point and pull your toe back up. So this is a myofascial release technique. And you want to be careful. You want to do 30 to 60 seconds. This isn't the more is better. It's going to help if I do like 5 or 10 minutes. It can actually make those tissues a little bit tighter. So we're just going to find a couple spots along our calf, pointing and flexing. Now, if you don't happen to have a ball, the other option you can do is taking your foot, and with 2 fingers, you're going to draw in between each of those bones, just kind of creating some space, pulling down. Just kind of giving your foot a little bit of some tender love, loosening up, and go down one by one each spot. Okay. All right, so now let's move, find another spot. Maybe you find another tender area just a little further down the calf, or maybe you roll to the outside. Just checking in, what are you noticing? Does it give you any referral to the bottom of your foot? And then we're gonna point and flex. Ooh, point and flex. And you wanna notice differences, left side, right side. Same thing, 30, 60 seconds here, and then we'll keep it rolling. Use that breath. Just notice how far the ankle itself is moving. Can you spread the toes? Are you tightening up? Can you use your breath to soften? Nice. Good, we'll do one more breath on this side. Nice. And then we'll switch to the other side. So we'll take that block and the ball. And if you didn't happen to have the block, you can do this straight on the ground as well. Good. Ooh, find that lovely spot. How does it feel compared to your other side? Take the other foot, point and flex. Just gently moving in and out. Do you get any referral on this side? Down to the bottom of your foot, your heel. How does this ankle move compared to your other side? Just tapping and bringing that awareness in. Good. 30, 60 seconds. Nice work. We're gonna find one more. And then maybe we move down, maybe we move up. Just find one more spot. And again, you can just kind of hold, use your breath. Oh, I found my tender spot on this side. Good, gently moving in and out. Breath is the important thing, especially If something's a little bit uncomfortable, we tend to grip intense. We want to stay nice and relaxed with this. Just gently move in and out. Nice. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Awesome work. Last one. Okay, so let's move this stuff off towards the side for a moment. And then we're gonna come onto our hands and knees, coming into tabletop position. And then what I want you to do is just take your toes and curl your toes underneath. And this might be a big enough stretch right here. Trying to spread the toes out, especially kind of remember back, what did your feet look like? Could you spread them? Were they all smushed together? Creating space in our feet is really important to get some mobility and strength in those feet. If you have more questions about more space in your feet and proper shoe wear, go ahead and check out this video right here. All right, so here we go. Those toes are curled. This might be enough. You're like, okay, I don't want to move anymore. On your exhale, maybe you try to sink the hips back. Nice stretch along the bottom of the foot, and then come back up. Good. Exhale, we'll sink those hips, bring it back. Inhale, come back up. So a couple things you want to look out for with this one is making sure your feet aren't rolling to the outside. We want all the toes touching and those heels facing the ceiling. How does your big toe on your right compare to the big toe on your left? One side might feel a little bit stiffer, especially if that's your painful side. Good, gently moving out. This is a great stretch for the bottom of your foot. So great one to do in the morning, especially if you notice that as soon as you put your foot down, that's like, ooh, that pain comes and zings in. Good, gently moving in and out. We're gonna do 3. Nice job. 2. This last one, we're gonna hold just kind of at the edge. Keep pressing into the palms, sink those hips back, take a nice big stretch in. And then exhale, let it go. Good, we're gonna breathe out to the sides of your rib cage. Exhale, slowly let it go. Awesome, pull yourself, come up. Ooh, uncurl those toes, it's gonna feel good. And then we're gonna come up to a kneeling position. Let's take our left foot, stick your left foot straight out in front. So we're gonna work on some mobility in our ankle, trying to get that knee to go forward over your toes while still keeping the heel on the ground. And then that right hip, you're gonna tuck your right hip underneath. You might feel a little bit of a gentle pull in the front of that thigh. Careful to not lean too far back. Bring those hands behind the back of your head. Press the top of your right foot down into the ground. Left foot is pushing, sneak that knee forward, and then we're gonna bend to the left. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend to that left hand side. Keep tucking your right hip underneath. And this left glute, you're starting to feel fire up because you're pushing that foot into the ground. And then I want you just to kind of check and peek. What's going on with your foot? Are you curling those toes? Can you keep spreading them apart? Good, gently up and back. Good, we're trying to spread the toes, get more mobility in that ankle, strength in the left glute, and then that right front part of your hip, you should feel a nice stretch in that. I love doing multiple things all at once. Good. 2 more times, bend over towards the left. Use your breath. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift it back up. And now let's switch. So take that left leg back. Right leg comes out in front. So it's not a really big wide stance. We're tucking that left hip underneath. Drive your right knee forward. Can you still keep the heel down? Do you feel more of a stretch down along your Achilles? Do you feel more of a stretch in that ankle joint? What are you noticing? How does this side feel different than your other? Okay, so we're tucking. Drop the rib cage, hands come behind the back of your head, and we're gonna bend to the right. Inhale, lift back up. Elbows are pushing behind you. Really press the right foot into the ground. Inhale, back up. Nice work. Keep pushing that foot into the ground. For 3, Nice work. 2. And last 1. Come back up. And then we're gonna come all the way up to standing next. So we're gonna grab hold of the smaller ball. You could also use the tennis ball if you had that as well. And I want you to just stop, notice, what are you feeling the bottom of your feet? Does it feel any different? Is it loosened up along the backs of your calf? So now taking the ball, we're gonna place the ball just at the bottom of our heel. So your toes will stay down on the ground. And then we're just gonna pivot back and forth. You're gonna find lovely little areas all along that ridge. It's like you're drawing a little smiley face, going back and forth. Maybe you work your way closer towards the heel. Maybe you slowly work yourself closer towards the toes, kind of get into the middle of the arch. But the toes stay down, we're not gripping, you're spreading them out, and we're just wiggling from the left and then to the right. If you happen to find a spot that's like, oh, you can kind of hold, lean into it, and then soften off, hold, lean in, and soften off. The key with this is the same thing, 30, 60 seconds, and then we keep it rolling to another one, because we don't want to overhydrate those tissues because it's just going to make them stiffer. Good. For 3, 2, last 1. Nice job. Okay, place both feet down on the ground. What do you notice? Try to spread your toes. What's the difference? Left foot, right foot. Okay, back down, here we go. So just find, again, the base of your heel on that right foot. Toes are down, and we're pivoting. Pivoting back and forth over that ball. Gently moving in and out. Same thing, so you can find an area that might be just a little bit more tender. Oh goodness. And you kind of lean in, lean off, a little lean in and lean off. Good. Just giving our feet a little extra love. Promise it'll feel better once the ball's gone. Good. And we've just got 2 more breaths here. Very gentle. Try not to grip or hold anything tight. Awesome. And then come off that ball. And we're just going to stand again. Some more tension to the bottom of the feet. Maybe you notice they're spreading out. Maybe that pain's continuing to go away. Maybe you can spread your toes a little bit further. Spreading your toes is so important, especially with plantar fasciitis, trying to build up the strength in the bottom of the feet, especially that middle arch. That big toe, we want it spreading. Good. Slowly lower, back down. All right, last one we've got, we're gonna take our yoga mat. You could also use a rolled up towel, but we're gonna roll the yoga mat up. It can be 2 to 3 inches. And then we're gonna take our left foot and just put the ball of your foot on the mat. We're gonna start with that leg straight. If something's nearby, you can grab hold. You're just gonna step the foot forward and then step that foot back. Step that foot forward, but watch what happens to your heel. Does it pop up or can you keep the heel on the ground? And then step it back. Just gently moving in and out. Keep that heel down on the ground for 5. Stay with your breath. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Keep trying to spread those toes apart. So now we're gonna keep the knee bent a little bit as we drop down. You'll feel that stretch a little closer down towards your heel, and then come back up. Bend down. It's okay if your knee goes forward over your toes. We're just looking for that gentle stretch. You might feel it in the front or closer towards that Achilles. Good, that little drop down. Nice. For 3, keep spreading your toes. 2. Awesome work. Last 1. Come back up and we'll switch. So the ball of that right foot comes down to the mat or your towel roll. Drive the heel down. If you wanted to hold on, we can kind of step forward. Woo, this side tighter. And then step it back. Good. Step it forward. And then step it back. Can you keep the toes relaxed? All those little things that's different, left to right. And a lot of times you can kind of chase pain going down at the bottom of your foot further up the chain. So what's going on at your hip? That's why bringing attention to all the little details of what's going on is so important. Nice work. 3. Keep that heel down. 2. Last 1. Awesome. Now we're going to bend that knee. So a little bend. It's okay if the knee goes forward and then back up. A little bend and then bring it back up. Spread your toes. 3, 2. Last 1. Come all the way back up. Bring those feet back down towards the ground. I want you to turn and peek. What's going on in your feet? How are they feeling? Can you spread your toes? She talked about how important spreading your feet and building up those muscles on the bottom are for plantar fasciitis. But also, here's a little bonus tip that you might not have heard before. As we're working on strengthening the bottom of our feet, it's actually also strengthening our core and our pelvic floor muscles. The same nerve that innervates our pelvic floor is the one that works the bottom of our feet. So spread those toes. Good. Keep spreading, slowly lower all the way back down. Continue to keep checking in to see how the bottom of your feet are feeling. We want to make sure we're spreading our toes. We want to make sure we continue to use the myofascial techniques that we use to loosen up both the calf and the bottom of our foot, and then continue to keep building that strength and stability. If you want to keep learning more about how to move your body and learning to listen to it, go ahead and check that description box down below. Awesome job with those exercises. Keep up the good work and remember that consistency is key. If you're wanting to learn more about how your body moves, building strength, flexibility, and stability, I'm going to put down below in the description the Reframe Collective, where I teach live weekly classes and go over exactly that. I would also love to know down below in the comments if you want to see more videos on how to get rid of foot pain, that pesky plantar fasciitis. Until next time, namaste.